Today I have 13 tips and tricks about The Witcher 3 that I wish I knew before starting out. Stay tuned. What's up guys, my name is Frankie Boy and on this channel you can expect everything about The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, also open world RPGs like Assassin's Creed. I even had a role in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I was one of the characters and yeah, just tell me in the comments if I should make a video about that. I made one in the YouTube Shorts section, you can find it, but I could go into detail if you like to know more information about synchronizing a character in a game. Well, today I got some tips for you and yeah, The Witcher 3, it's quite old now, but when I started out I wish I knew some things sooner and let's talk about these points and let's start with number 1, get into a peaceful area first. The first point I'm talking about is theft. Well, you can actually be a thief in The Witcher 3 because you can loot about anything and go around and just steal things, but you have to keep your eyes open because, yeah, the guards, they will fight you. If you do so, they might fight you, but civilians don't. So keep an eye out for the guardsmen and just keep a distance to be safe. You can take these things because it's totally recommended to take everything that you can. Tip number 2 is time management. You can do that by meditating. Just go into the control wheel on the PC, it's top, and then use space for meditation and you can choose your daytime you prefer. You also have to let some time pass for some quests, so keep that in mind when you need to like summon a ghost that only appears at, I don't know, midnight or so. Then you can just use your meditation, control it, and keep an eye out for when enemies are active, because some might be active when it's a day and the other way around. So you can use that to your advantage and surprise them when they're sleeping, like a bandit would sleep at night, and then you can go to their camp and kill them all. Might be easier. For tip number 3, I need to summon Roach. And when you use the gallop, you press shift double at the PC, so you don't lose any of his stamina or her stamina. I don't know, to be honest. And that's the nice trick to travel some really long distances or even for the horses tournaments, so you can win any race. It's quite easy with that trick in mind, and just use it and you will travel around the whole map for free. Quite nice. Tip number 4, it's repairing your stuff. I forgot to repair at the first time I was playing The Witcher 3. So you got 2 ways of repairing. First one is a repair kit and they are quite expensive. You can get them at the blacksmith, but you have to keep in mind they are really expensive, and the preferred way is to go to a blacksmith and actually repair the gear you are using. You find them at almost any village of relevance in The Witcher, like here you get the armorer, you can also use a swordsmith. Just keep in mind that you need to go somewhere to do that before you head into a tough fight and your gear would break. That's like shit. There's actually a third way, because you got some glyphs that could actually prevent your gear from getting destroyed and losing durability. It's the glyph of reinforcement, but I don't recommend this one because it's just like saving up crowns and you can farm them quite easily. As you can see, I got a lot of swords in my inventory and they are worth 2k each, so don't worry about crowns too much. When you're in mid game and late game you will get that. Tip number 5, you might have wondered which of these potions is the best one. I actually got 4 I would use at any point. Thunderbolt is number 1 for 35% attack power, always nice except for a sign build. The second one is Maribor Forest, you get adrenaline and this makes you even stronger in fights. The third one is Swallow. This is recommended for beginners and on deathmatch difficulty at every point because you regenerate vitality and that is essential to not die. Well, you need vitality anyways. And the fourth one is the Tawny. It has some stamina regeneration and that's always nice. You need stamina for casting signs, for using whirl and rend, etc. Just need it at any point and you can spam your abilities when you have this potion active. These are my 4 recommendations for noobs. Let's talk about oils, baby. This is point number 6. You You can find them here in the inventory on your oils tab, and you got some fitting for each enemy type. To find out which one you need, you just go to your bestiary and use that information. You use beast oil for beasts, etc. You will get the drill when you played The Witcher a few times and visited the bestiary a few times. What you do with that, you put it on your sword, but it is not only increasing the damage. By the way, to get these, you need to train your alchemy and do that. But you could also skill some coating, some protective coating in the alchemy tab to actually use oil as a protection for minus 15% damage, or should I better say 15% protection. It's quite nice when you're one hit, you might not be one hit anymore, and it also scales with Quen, so that's a nice thing to keep in mind. Point number 7, the best talent on Death March. It's Gourmet, arguably, because it regenerates vitality for 20 minutes when you use food, and food has been nerfed. That's unlucky for Gourmet, but it's still worth the pick. It should be your talent number 1. When you start the game, you get your first ability point, you pick up Gourmet. It's insane. Tip number 8, toxicity. When I first started out with The Witcher, I didn't understand toxicity and why it is there and what it's about. Toxicity appears when you consume things that actually intoxicate Geralt, like decoctions. They are potions but last longer, or potions, obviously, they are potions and last for 90 seconds. You could build a build where they last infinite. I will cover that in another video, but let's keep it at this point now. They grant you a superior buff for a short amount of time, and they grant you toxicity, so Geralt cannot use every potion at the same time. It should make this kind of impossible, but it's still possible in some way. That's for endgame stuff. For the way of leveling and the way of completing the story, you should just keep in mind to use some of these potions, and you increase your toxicity level to consume more potions and decoctions at the same time. And there are 2 talents that actually increase this level. You have Hate and Tolerance, which is a must pick for most of the builds, especially Euphoria later on, and of course Acquired Tolerance. Some of the best perks you can get in the whole skill tree are these 2. Well, this changes up for some rare builds, but for most of them it's a must pick. Tip number 9 is all about signs. Can you read the signs? I can, because they appear in my menu. Quen is the best sign. It's a protective shield that you should always pick. Always use it pre-fight, and it's the best perk for a starter when you're starting out with The Witcher, but even when you're experienced, this grants you a free hit. You don't take any damage. Doesn't matter how much damage would have hit you. You could be one hit, but now you're not. Well, Quen Shield does absorb one hit then, and you have to rebuff it, but it's quite nice when you're lazy on the dodging, lazy on the parrying. You just can't focus on attacking and maybe play more aggressive than you normally should. Quen is the best sign, I guess, for beginners. Tip number 10 is use your surroundings, use the area to your advantage. There might be some points that you can use to knock an enemy off a cliff or let something explode or so. You can get high ground even and be very powerful with your skills, and yeah, just use that to your advantage so you don't get grilled all the time like Bear Grylls, and yeah, just keep an eye out on the area to make sure everything is at your advantage. And I love to play this way. You can even knock out enemies with stuns, or you could knock them off a cliff. It's so much fun to be creative with that, and yeah, it will make you a better player. Tip number 11 is all about the monsters' nests. As you can see on my minimap, I'm currently at a monster nest. They are looking like this one, and when you don't loot everything out of the monster nest, then you have the chance to farm it again. And that's quite a nice tip, I guess, for beginners, because you could like use meditate for 4 to 5 days and then loot it again. Just loot everything but one item. It's quite a nice tip. I didn't know. And this one is used to farm mutagens, which is our tip number 12. You can use it to farm mutagens in the Blood and Wine DLC. Just go to the monster nest there and use the warm monster nest to farm mutagens, transform them. But yeah, mutagens, this is found in the skill tree. It's right next to the general tab. and you should use it at any point. There are some which are worse, some which are better, and in the end you can end up with 60% attack power when you have 3 of these red talents in there, and also upgraded your mutagens. Also picked another talent, which is synergy, that will boost your mutagens, also a very strong talent. If I had to pick 5 talents from the alchemy tree, it would be like hate intolerance, acquired tolerance, synergy, killing spree, and hunter instinct, which got buffed after the next gen update. Also very nice is of course some protective coating or so. These are nice in any situation and buff Gerald to the maximum. Tip number 13 is leveling up quite fast. There is actually a nice point where you can do that. And this one is in Ersten. You find it here on the map, and you need to go west to this boat. And at this exact location you can see all the drowners in the world, and you just jump into the water, pick up your crossbow, because crossbows actually one-hit these drowners. You use your focus target. On the PC it's Y or maybe Z, depending on the land you're from and the keyboard you're using, and you can speed level at this exact location by just one-hitting the drowners all the time west from Ersten. It's a very nice glitchy farm spot because they will actually respawn all the time. In my case they take 2 hits, which is sad, so let's drink some potions. Now that my toxicity level is up, they are actually 1 hit. And you can see how fast they spawn, and each and every one of them gives you at least 1 experience point, so you can use that to your advantage and level up and also loot these drowners for some nice stuff. They don't have a very high chance of dropping something of use, but I think this is the best low-level farm spot for glitchy leveling up that you can actually find, and it's quite nice to just like press target and use your crossbow. To even improve this farm spot, you could improve your crossbow, which is possible with like trick shot, etc. Also, you could use the marksmanship in the combat tree, so feel free to do that. But I think this is an awesome spot to increase your level and just make some progress until you find some better spots or some better quests. In general, you level the best by picking up the main story quests and doing them. Then you should do secondary quests. They give the second most XP, and Witcher contracts the third most, treasure hunts the 4th most XP. It's just that simple, like it's already sorted out in the journal. The journal, of course. What the heck is happening? I guess I'm not supposed to do that. Never ever seen that happen. What an insane glitch. That one was crazy. But yeah, Geralt finally decided to stop doing stuff like that, and oh, he might as well die, because his life is so low. Anyways, let's meditate for an hour so we don't die on the toxicity, and consume a swallow to regenerate some life. Okay, looking better again. Alright guys, that was it for today. I hope I could help you out if you're new to The Witcher 3 or even want to fresh up your knowledge about the game. Feel free to subscribe. I do some build videos. I also, like I said, am an Assassin's Creed YouTuber, and this is a big topic for me too. I'm happy about Assassin's Creed Codename Red, and the future will be very bright for this brand. Well, not for other brands of Ubisoft, and I'm also curious what will happen to the Witcher franchise. Feel free to join me on this journey and support this small channel that it is. I think today, as of recording, we just hit like 230 subscribers. Thank you very much for that, and I really appreciate your support. It's great to have some open world RPG fans out there and have them on the channel. It's my favorite genre by far. Alright, let's save it and save this video up for later. See you in the next one. Goodbye.
Liebe Leute, mein Name ist Fragner und ich wünsche euch den besten Tag aller Zeiten. Liebe Leute, mein Name ist Fragner. Bis später, euer Peter. Und natürlich gern die Glocke aktivieren, aktivieren. Und natürlich gern die Glocke aktivieren, aktivieren. Und natürlich gern die Glocke aktivieren, aktivieren. Und meinen zweiten Kanal könnt ihr auch gerne abonnieren.